Today, I'm going to talk about Godzilla Minus One. So the plot of this film is after the events of World War II, a new threat emerges in the form of a giant monster known as Godzilla. And that's all I can say without going a little deeper, and don't worry, I will. But if you want to see this movie blind, then don't watch this video because I'm going to go into spoilers. So the things I liked about this movie were the characters, the story, the special effects, the cinematography, the pacing, and the acting. The characters I really liked in this film because it got me invested in them. You know how in most monster movies, they focus too much on the human characters that you really don't care about, in which they focus more on the monster? Well, in this one, they do that, but here, you actually care. You actually want to see them survive when they get attacked by Godzilla. It goes along with the story. So the story of the human characters goes like this. The main character is a fighter pilot. During an air raid on his hometown, he whistles out and doesn't fight. When he comes back home, his whole family has been killed during the raid. So then he meets this girl who's carrying a baby, and it turns out that she and the baby have both lost their families in the raid. So they move in together and decide to raise this child together. I felt that gave it more depth to the movie, rather than just being a mindless monster film. And I liked every side character in this film and thought they did a great job. The pacing of the film was good because there was no dull moments. Every scene counted and it only showed us what we needed to see. The special effects were really good on Godzilla. They made him look really real and scary. The only thing I thought that was weird was the way he moved. He moved sort of like this. I don't know, I just thought it looked funny. But it is cool to see Godzilla how he originally looked back in the 50s, rather than the new Hollywood way. Another cool thing about this film is the cinematography. The way they filmed Godzilla was either looking up or at a distance, just like back in the OG films. The acting in this film was good because every actor did a great performance and did a great job working off each other. There's two scenes in this film that stick out to me. One scene is when Godzilla is raiding the town, destroying everything. Then he shoots with his heat ray, and supposedly the main character's wife gets shot and killed by Godzilla. Then the main character looks up at Godzilla and yells at him in anguish. You really see the pain in his eyes in that scene. That was a really good acting moment. Another scene I liked was when the main character was breaking down in front of his wife over the guilt about letting the people on the island die at the hand of Godzilla. I thought that was another really good acting moment. And I will say now, I really like the main character's arc in this film. He starts off as a coward, letting his city get destroyed, lets other folks get killed by Godzilla. But at the end of the film, he mans up and faces Godzilla, and that gives him redemption. I will say, this film is practically perfect, but there is just one thing I don't like, which has nothing to do with the film, it's just a personal thing with me. I'm the kind of person who gets more invested with story and character development, rather than action. So the first half of this film, I was more invested than the second half, because the first half focused more on building up the characters, and the second half focused more on the action. So for that reason, I wasn't really into the finale with Godzilla. And I know, it's a monster movie, so I should like the monster, but I still like the first part more because it focuses on the human characters. Plus, the second half was filled with a lot of exposition. But regardless of such, I still thought this was a very solid movie with great story, great character and acting, and great special effects. If you've seen this film, please let me know what you thought of it. I'll give Godzilla Minus One 4.5 out of 5 stars. Now one more thing before I go. I'm not a huge Godzilla fan, but I do find a lot of his movies interesting. So I'll be looking into watching more Godzilla films, and eventually doing more movie reviews on them. Now I'm mostly talking about the Japanese Toho movies, not the American movies. And I don't know when I'll get to them, it's just whenever I do. So keep a lookout.